All right, it's all over but the shouting, but there was plenty of shouting. The final congressional hearing today on 2 assassination attempts against President-elect Donald Trump. And those hearings may be better remembered for the flashes of volcanic temper than for any new revelations about the actual assassination plots themselves.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, Congressman. Were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect for a Secret Service member.
All right, that heated exchange involved Congressman Pat Fallon, Republican of Texas, facing off against acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe. This was after Fallon accused Rowe of exploiting this year's 9/11 memorial ceremony as a self-serving photo op that endangered presidential security. Fallon showed a blown-up image from the ceremony depicting Rowe right behind President Biden, Vice President Harris, and President-elect Trump. Fallon claimed Rowe's very visible location in that picture blocked the presidential security detail from being in prime position to do its job. Well, Rowe lashed back, telling the congressman that he was out of line. The smackdown came as the Secret Service agency still faces questions over the failures that led to the 2 attempts against the president-elect's life, most notably the July shooting at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally that left Trump with a bullet graze wound to his ear. For more on that memorable but not necessarily informative volcanic eruption of anger in Congress today, let's go to NewsNation's Tom Dempsey on Capitol Hill. Tom, congressional hearings are sometimes fiery, but this was something else.
Absolutely. Good evening, Elizabeth. It was very loud to be in that hearing room. It was very awkward to sit through that as I did, and it was certainly a blow-up. But as far as the background for this and the context of it all, we actually spoke face-to-face with Representative Pat Fallon of Texas, and he says he spoke with a whistleblower from the Secret Service inside his office who was very concerned about acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe standing so close to President Biden at that 9/11 anniversary event when it should have been the president's security detail right there. Representative Fallon saying that's a severe security protocol breach, and it's another sign he believes new leadership is needed within the Secret Service. Take a listen to what he told us.
There's no reason for him to be there. There isn't. Try to find a time in history where the Secret Service director was that close to the president at a functional event. I don't think you could find it. So, yeah, I think he was auditioning for the job, a job that I don't believe he's going to get come January 20th. I have not talked to the president about that, but I suspect that they're going to find much better people because we need to change the culture as well.
Now, another important reminder, this was all about the investigation into the attempted assassinations of President-elect Donald Trump. A very big part of this was talking about the Secret Service changes after that Butler, Pennsylvania event, where acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe talked about the expanded use of drones, counter-drone technology, even using an advanced robot to better surveil Mar-a-Lago to protect President-elect Donald Trump. Elizabeth, this task force plans to release its final investigative report in the coming days.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully cooler heads will prevail in that final hearing. Thank you, Tom Dempsey, reporting from Capitol Hill. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.